Now, Rinu, give me your own view about who you think is best. Do you have a person in mind that you want to vote for, and why the choice of such a person?
Yes, thank you very much, Shion, for organizing, these platforms. Straight to your question, yes, I have a candidate who I support to be Nigeria's next president, and that person is a person with competence, character, and capacity. With ability and commitment to solve our issues as a nation. That ticket that represents inclusion, that represents equity, that represents justice. Not just for Nigerians, but then for young people, for women, for members of other tribes, for people from diverse religions and lands, and that person is His Excellency Peter Obi.
Interesting. So, if you compare Peter Obi, the man you say has all of these qualities, compared to other candidates, why do you think he's better than its competitor in the race?
Well, I think that's a tough one, but I'll try to answer it in some minutes. You see, Peter Obi represents a better future. It represents a possible future than his competitors. I will ask that, or I will ask Nigerians, when you look at all the candidates, what do you see? Do you see competence? Do you see character? Do you see capacity? When you look at Peter Obi and you compare him to his competitors, just like you asked, it represents these three things: competence, character, and capacity. And I'll give you three reasons for that. Nigeria's biggest problem today are the economy, insecurity, and corruption, which the current president, our General Muhammadu Buhari, campaigned on in 2015, and he has failed on every count. And if you look at it very carefully, our country is currently experiencing the spread of insecurity, due to a lack of political will, ineffective security agencies, and a president who is barely visible. And this has given us the image of an ineffective leadership. Nigerians today need a credible, competent, and capable leader who can address our issues. We need a present president, not somebody that will not be, present for more than half of his term. And then we can see the parties that have come severally. They failed to deliver on their campaign promises to fight corruption. They failed to deliver on their campaign promises to secure the country, to stabilize the economy, even to stop university strikes, in more than several years of governance, not to talk of the NSAS protest in 2020. So one of his competitors as well, like you asked, is on record for also blaming victims of the Lekki massacre that happened in 2020. Another counterpart, is famous for paying lip service to situations of public concern. I mean, recently there was a deleted tweet condemning the killing of a female student who was killed in Sokoto. Also, candidates from major parties in Nigeria historically have always chosen running mates from other regions and religions in order to be able to foster a sense of security. His major competitors, Peter Obi's major competitors, do not represent the image of a united Nigeria. And Nigerians have suffered heavily in the hands of bad presidents. We do not need leaders who will further widen our divides. Peter Obi will reduce those divides. Two, before we can begin to solve these issues of insecurity, corruption, joblessness, we can go on and on. We need a visionary and transformational leader. And then it's a process, just like when you're looking for a job. The first stage is you package your CV, you say, these are my qualifications, and submit it. Then the second stage is when they've looked at your CV, they say, okay, you get a chance of an interview. You now get the opportunity to be able to tell the employer why you think you're the best man for the job. And then they can hire you. Not to forget that the basic tenets of a democracy requires that citizens are to ask questions of their leaders, whether they're in office or they're aspiring to come into office. And then there is an obligation from those leaders to be transparent. If you want to lead anybody, you have to be prepared, to be prepared for an intensive analysis of what you've done, what you're going to do, and what qualifies you to do it. And there cannot be two ways to it. Peter Obi has been speaking at every opportunity he gets to Nigerians, unlike his competitors, who have concluded that they have Nigerians by their throat and that we will vote for them no matter what, regardless what they do, they are going to win. So Nigerians must not make the mistake of thinking that any politicians is too good for their questions or query. Regardless of how attractive the CV or credentials of a politician may be, the citizens must ensure, and that's the basic tenet of a democracy, that we understand who we want to vote for. Before I also we need a leader with who is critically and clinically sound, with the right character, skills, attitude, and attribute to turn things around. We do not need candidates who have been sleeping all over campaign meetings. You know, some of them have even refused to attend debates. Candidates who are incoherent, speaking in languages we don't understand. That is clearly a disaster in waiting. Those people will not solve the problems
Rinu,
of our country.
you are shaking tables. You are shaking tables.
The third one, before I end,
You are shaking tables, Rinu, tonight. So, yeah.
We should also ask ourselves, what is motivating all the candidates to run for office? You and I should ask ourselves, is their aim just to become president by force, by fire, or they truly want to serve? Are his competitors, those are Peter Obi's competitors, are they promising a bright future for you and I, for the older generation, for this generation, for the future generation, for you, for your children? Peter Obi represents a bright future, and all people with sound analytical mind can discern what we stand to benefit as a nation through Peter Obi. Thank you.
You've shaken tables, and well, let me allow, because you didn't mention names, and I don't know whether you want to mention this, because this is a platform where Nigerians can, is for the independent mind, so where Nigerians can speak their minds freely.